Jayo Kunja Bihari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jayo Girivaradhari Jayo Girivaradhari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jayo Girivaradhari Jayo Girivaradhari. Jayo Yashodanandana Jayo Braja Janaranjana Jayo Braja Janaranjana. Jayo Yamuna Tiravanachari Jayo Kunja Bihari Jayo Jayo Yamuna Tiravanachari Jayo Kunja Bihari. Jayo Radha Madhava Jayo Kunja Bihari Jayo Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jayo Girivaradhari Jayo Girivaradhari. Jayo Yashodanandana Jayo Braja Janaranjana Jayo Braja Janaranjana. Jayo Yamuna Tiravanachari Jayo Kunja Bihari Jayo Radha Madhava Jayo Kunja Bihari. Jayo Radha Madhava Jayo Kunja Bihari Jayo Radha Madhava Jayo Kunja Bihari जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य स्तोत्र श्रीमद्भय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नामाचार्य श्रील हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। ब्रजभूमि श्री वृंदावन धाम की जय। नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की जय। पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय। गंगा मैया की जय। जमुना मैया की जय। भक्ति देवी की जय। श्रीमती तुलसी महारानी की जय। समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। ऑल ग्लोरीज टू असेंबल डिवोटीज, ऑल ग्लोरीज टू असेंबल डिवोटीज, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories, all glories, all glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga.
Hare Krishna. So we welcome all of you for today's very, very special Prerana lecture, and we are very fortunate to have His Grace Gaur Vilas Prabhu with us. So, first of all, we are very happy that today the Prerana festival is happening on a very auspicious day of Ekadashi. So, Ekadashi, whatever we do, the benefits are very high. So, we again congratulate you for taking a right decision. So, regarding Gaur Vilas Prabhu, Prabhuji has done MBBS in 2009 from very prestigious college, JJ Hospital and Grand Medical College of Mumbai. After doing his medical studies and medical practice, when he, after completing his medical studies, he realized that a lot of diseases and health issues, at individual and social level are stemming from negligence of mental and spiritual health. So then that inspired him to study more the scriptures and from Vedic point of view understand how we can be really healthy within and without also. Then he is serving as a monk as an motivational speaker in ISKCON since 2010 and travels all over India conducting seminars and workshops. His life management seminars are very popular among students and working professionals and inspire them to attain wellness and excellence in life. He goes to different medical colleges like Grand Medical College and other colleges where he gives a lot of courses. Then he's also invited by the hospitals such as D.Y. Patil Medical College, MGM Dental College, Kasturba Hospital and Bhaktivedanta Hospital to conduct sessions for doctors and nursing staff. So Prabhuji is also doctor of doctors. Okay, then he conducts mindfulness workshop for doctors and other working people. He goes to Ghatkopar, there is a Kalpataru society, thousands and thousands of people stay there and he gives wonderful seminars there. And all the children and the elder one, everyone attends different seminars. Then he is serving as one of the core members in IVS body. We attend the camps, right? The exciting camps. So Prabhuji is behind all these camps. So now we are very fortunate. He is going to speak on a very important topic for today's Prerana Festival. So let us welcome him by loudly chanting 3 times. Hari Bol. And one small announcement, but important. His Holiness Gopal Krishna Swami Maharaj, a disciple of Srila Prabhupada, is having a health crisis. And Gopal Krishna Maharaj, all over the world, he has contributed and very leading ISKCON Vaishnava Guru. And in Delhi, if you go, there are so many temples, all over the world actually he has inspired. So today, this Prerana festival, we are dedicated at the Lotus of Gopinath ji for the quick health recovery of His Holiness Gopal Krishna Maharaj. And at the last, we will be having nice kirtan also. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Nandago Prabhu, for the nice words. We'll begin with our prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Ruttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namah Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So welcome everyone to our monthly Prerana festival. This is 208th Prerana festival. So in the beginning, we would like to dedicate this Prerana festival for the quick recovery of His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj. He has suffered a critical illness day before yesterday, and he is under observation. So we request all the devotees here to sincerely pray for his quick recovery. He is one of the very, very senior disciples of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. And as Nandago Prabhu also described, he has rendered unlimited services in this ISKCON society. So all of us, we can pray for him by very loudly chanting the Hare Krishna mantra once. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Hare Krishna. So thank you for all your prayers. So today we have assembled to discuss a very, very wonderful story. First of all, I am very grateful for all the ISKCON IOS body, ISKCON Youth Services body, for giving me this opportunity to serve. Very grateful and honored to be with all of you here on this very auspicious occasion of Ekadashi. So it is a great honor and privilege. So thank you all of you for coming. And of course, the end is very wonderful because Ekadashi days, all the students, they know. Those who are staying in the hostel and in the homes, Ekadashi ka prasad matlab baapre, it is a big tapasya. So, of course, we have a good feast waiting for all of you. So today we are discussing a very, very interesting topic, the combat story. The topic itself is very unique and attractive. The word warrior, the lessons from the saga of a lone warrior. The warrior word is itself very, very attractive, very, very wonderful. That means a person with a great vigor, strength, aggressive. And we are all attracted by all the, war movies. How many of you like war movies? Where all the wars are happening. Some of you. बाकियों को पसंद नहीं है ना? अभी बोलेंगे नहीं पसंद भी होगा तो, मंदिर में ऐसा लड़ाई वड़ाई की बात नहीं करते हम लोग, है ना? लिटिल कृष्णा पसंद है, How many of you feel, my life is many times a war zone. कुछ ना कुछ चलता ही रहता है लाइफ में, सबके लाइफ में कुछ ना कुछ चलता ही रहता है, नहीं? Always war is going on. Either you are a student or a working professional or a housewife or whoever you may be. For a student, it is like a war zone always, Exams, they are like war, इसको थोड़ा आगे करो, थोड़ा आगे, स्क्रीन के बाहर जा रहा है, और थोड़ा आगे ले लो, स्क्रीन के बाहर जा रहा है, Thank you. So exams are like war for many of us, Till date, many times I get nightmares. I'm writing exam और time खत्म हो गया. How many of you get such dreams? और teacher आके बोल रहा है time खत्म हो गया, paper दे दो, And समंदर जितना syllabus होता है, नदी जितना पढ़ पाते हैं, बाल्टी भर के याद रहता है, चुल्लू भर लिख पाते हैं, और बूंद भर नंबर आते हैं, So that is how life is. One of our doctors, he was telling, he's a lecturer, and he went for a examination, an external examination and internal, any exam, and external and internal examiners are there. So he went for a test to take exam, and the internal is telling to this person, one boy came and he said, sir, this is first year MBBS exam, anatomy. And he says, sir, ये ना 4 बार फेल हो चुका है, इसको पास कर दो ना सर, So he said, ठीक है, मैं इसको एक simple question पूछूंगा, if he answers, I'll pass. So in anatomy, in practicals, we have to identify various body organs, specimen रहते हैं. So he was told, okay, pick one. So he picked one bottle of specimen. He said, क्या है ये? So he is looking around, अभी कभी गया ही नहीं hostel, college गया ही नहीं. So he says, नहीं मालूम सर. So बोलता है, ठीक है, चल मैं तेरे को एक hint देता हूँ, ये, it was a specimen of a uterus, So he said, मैं hint देता हूँ तेरे को, ये तेरे body में नहीं है और मेरे body में नहीं है, बोल क्या है, So सोच रहा है, सोच के बोलता है, सर brain. And the internal was more optimistic. He said, sir, 50% सही बोल रहा है, इसके body में नहीं है, इसको pass कर दो, So exams are like that, Many times we feel, कैसे होगा, How we will pass, Well, this is like a typical scenario in any hostel, मतलब एक सोचता है कि अभी पढ़ के कुछ फायदा तो है नहीं, All of us, one day before exam, many of you have this thought, काश एक दिन और मिलता, कितना अच्छा होता नहीं. And people write so many things. Some people write in the beginning of the paper some auspicious home और कुछ तो लिखते हैं. So somebody sent me this. In the beginning, every student should write this. All the answers written in this paper are imaginary. जिसका किसी भी लेक्चर से कोई संबंध नहीं है. यदि किसी लेक्चर से समानता होती है तो उसे मात्र एक संयोग कहा जाएगा. इट इज जस्ट अ कोइंसिडेंस. तो ऐसा तो हमारा हाल है. सो मेनी टाइम स्टूडेंट्स थिंक कॉलेज में आना हमारा काम है, कॉलेज का काम है हमको निकालना. And in the office, it is a war zone always, always some problem or the other. Somebody sent me a nice, piece of information. He said, वो अपने गीता साथ सुना रहेगा ना, तुम क्या लेके आए थे, जो लेके जाओगे. So boss is telling to his, employee, hey, what's, तुम अपने पिछले इंक्रीमेंट का पश्चाताप मत करो. अगले प्रमोशन की चिंता भी मत करो. तुम्हारा क्या था जो तुम लेके जाओगे. ये टेबल और लैपटॉप जो आज तुम्हारा है कल किसी और का था और कल किसी और का होगा. इसे तुम अपना समझ के पश्चाताप कर रहे हो, यही तुम्हारे दुखों का कारण है. So all these are going on, and then in the home also sometimes situations are like war. One time a son, he goes to his father and says, Papa, वो शादी के पहले वो हाथ क्यों मिलाते हैं. Any of you have been to marriages? किसी और का. So शादी में हाथ पे हाथ रखते हैं, उसको पाणी ग्रहण बोलते हैं. So the father didn't know what to answer. So he said, बेटा, उसने अपना दिमाग लगाया, बेटा तूने बॉक्सिंग का मैच देखा है? बॉक्सिंग में सबसे पहले क्या करते हैं? हाथ मिलाते हैं. उसके बाद असली मैच शुरू होता है. Oh, that's how it is, war zone. And many times our life is full of battles, And our battle starts from the morning we get up. How many of you put alarms to get up in the morning? How many of you snooze once and get up? एक बार snooze किया उठ गए, दो बार, तीन बार, और ऐसा कोई कि तो बजता रहे तो अपने आप बंद हो जाए. I don't even care to snooze. अपने आप बंद हो जाएगा. So, one request to all of you. Don't begin your day with a defeat. If you are putting alarm, that means you want to get up, right? So alarm लगाया तो उठ जाओ. When you snooze once or twice, you are telling your mind, I can't do it. So please don't snooze the alarm. That is very important. It is like battle. And it is like every moment there is a battle. You are walking down the road and then some billboard is there and your eyes are drawn towards that billboard. I know I'm not supposed to see this, but still, it is a great endeavor. Great battle starts whenever we go through any of the billboards. And every time or many times we are defeated. One time, in one place, in one village, there was a circus. और वहाँ पे एंट्री पे लिखा था 25 पैसे का सर्कस. एंड एवरीबॉडी वाज थिंकिंग, वाओ, इतना सस्ते में सर्कस देखने को मिल रहा है. देयर वाज अ ह्यूज लाइन एंड दे वर अलाउइंग ओनली वन पर्सन एट अ टाइम. सो वन पर्सन एंटर्ड दैट स्पेस एंड इज फाउंड देयर इज नथिंग देयर. एंड कोने में एक आदमी बैठा है. सो ही गोज टू दैट पर्सन एंड आस्क्स, भाई साहब ये सर्कस किधर है? सो ही हैड अ बिग लाठी. He took out and started beating. 25 पैसे में सर्कस दिखता है क्या? भाग यहाँ से, And he comes out running and he sees the whole line standing with expectation. And the first person in front, he asks, कैसा सर्कस था? You know what he says? First class, आप भी जाओ अंदर, So, and every person is going inside and nobody is telling पिटाई हुआ अंदर, And जिसकी भी पिटाई हो रही है, he thinks, पहले वाला तो अच्छा बोला था. I think I did some mistake, I went to a wrong place, So that's how the problem is, Sabki pitai ho rahi hai. Everybody is going through a battle. And many times we lose. This is a common scene in a boxing match. Can you imagine if the winner is like this? उसका हाल ऐसा है, तो बेचारा जो हारा है उसका हाल कैसा हुआ रहेगा, And as we begin our spiritual path, it is a big war, big battle, How many of you are chanting here any time? 1 round, 2 rounds, I think many of you are chanting. When we begin our spiritual practices, our struggle is, aaj chanting karen ki kal karen, And then after few months of practice, subah karen ki sham ko karen, And then after few years, subah mein sab kar lein ki thoda bacha ke rakhein, So that's how our struggle is. So our battle with our mind, our conditionings, our senses, they are our daily battle. So today we'll be discussing a very, very important story describing a war which happened in the ancient times. Many times when we see the war movies with all the ghastly things, violence, after seeing those movies, we feel mind is more agitated, more disturbed. But the beauty of the spiritual literatures are any battle, any war you hear about, one gets lessons. One learns how to deal with the problems of our life. Can anyone guess who is this lone warrior? No? No, yeah, good, guess, but I'm not going to discuss about that. Okay, so I think most of you have not heard about this story. This is a story of Dhruva. So all of you have heard about the beginning life of Dhruva. As a small child, one day he wanted to sit on the lap of his father, and his stepbrother, he was sitting there. His name was Uttam. So the stepmother, Suruchi, she tells, "Oh Dhruva, if you want to sit on the lap of your father, you have to take birth from my womb." As a small Kshatriya boy, he feels really angry. Hissing like a snake, he goes to his mother and says, "What is this happening?" Mother tells, "Oh Dhruva, whatever you want, go to the Lord." Where do I find the Lord? Lord stays in the forest. 5 years old boy goes to the forest. He meets with Narad Muni. And Narad Muni teaches him the process of meditation. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. And then in 6 months, he did intense tapasya. In the first month, he was eating some forest fruits once in 3 days. In some weeks, Nirjal Ekadashi is coming. And if you have heard about Nirjal Ekadashi, bole bolo mat Prabhu ji, dar lagta hai. And if you have followed Nirjal Ekadashi any time, Nirjal matlab पानी के बिना सब कुछ भी ऐसा नहीं है. And after doing Nirjal Ekadashi, whole night tossing here and there, नींद ही नहीं आ रही है. So this Dhruva, and next day Tulsi Aarti mein yani kani cha pa pani pani yaad aa raha hai, So this Dhruva, he was eating kapitta fruits, some forest fruits, and then in the second month he thought that is too much of feasting going on. He stopped eating that. He started eating dry leaves once in 9 days. Third month he thought ye bhi zyada ho gaya. He started just drinking water once in 15 days. Fourth month, he thought this is also too much. He stopped drinking water also. He was just breathing. Fifth month, he thought that is also too much of sense gratification. Saans liya aaj. He stopped breathing. And 6th month, entire universe started, suffocating because of the power of this Dhruva. We think, when we are chanting, what is happening? Kuch nahi ho raha hai. Only thing happens is, achhi neend aati hai, Prabhuji. Arjun, it is said that while sleeping, he would chant. And with every breath, with every exhale and inhale of the breath, he would chant the name of Krishna. Our situation is opposite many times. वो सोते सोते भी chanting करते थे, हम chanting करते सो जाते हैं, So then the Lord appeared and he gave benedictions. Oh Dhruva, I will give you a position which is greater than the great grandfather Brahma. He gave him the position of pole star. Rule this planet for 36,000 years. And in this way he lived a long life enjoying. And then now we'll start this story. Where is this combat here? Now Dhruva, he is a very, very accomplished king. He had a brother Uttam. One day this Uttam went to the forest for hunting and he was killed by a yaksha. And Dhruva, when he heard, he became very angry. Suruchi, his mother, also followed him. She also was burned in the forest fire. Very angry Dhruva, he went to attack all these yakshas. These yakshas, they are like the temptations which we face every day in and day out, And our mind, our conditionings, they are these yakshas. They are always tempting us, always attacking us. And whenever we, all of those who are students, whenever we sit with the book to read, and then with our mobile, and a notification comes, ting, मन क्या बोलता है? देख लेना, ऐसा देख के बस रख देना, Don't put too much of the energy on this. बस देख के रख देंगे. And as soon as you pick up the mobile and you go through one notification, another thing pops up, And then you realize that 1 hour is gone. That's how our temptations are. All the things of the world, they are like that. Always tempting us. And in exams, just before the exams, in hostel, there are 2 types of students who are happy. Who are they? Ek jo hai na, he has read everything, all the syllabus done 2 times, 3 times, and then he goes to all the rooms of the students and gives blessings. Koi baat nahi, beta pass ho jayega, And other student, उसने देखा ही नहीं है टीचर का मुंह कैसा है, He has never gone to the college. So he says, अभी टेंशन क्या है, 4 बार फेल हुए, 1 बार और हो जाएंगे, What is the problem? यश्चा मूढ़तमो लोके यश्चा बुद्धे परम गतः तौ उभौ सुखमेधेते क्लिश्यति अंतरितो जना. 2 types of people are happy in this world. One, who is accomplished, who has done everything, read everything. Other person, he is the most foolish. He has no knowledge what is going to come in the exam. So he is also happy. In our day-to-day life, we experience so many of the temptations. And when we come to spiritual life, we learn how to deal and handle our temptations. And if you are tempted any times in life, all of us are tempted, नीचे से किचन से आते आते ऊपर जाएं कि नीचे ही रुक जाते हैं, We are tempted always, And when the problem comes in life, people start blaming. People blame so many things. They start blaming people, they start blaming circumstances, they start blaming God. One time a student, he came for exam. And after 5 minutes, he is walking out of the exam hall. So teacher says, अरे बेटा क्या हो गया? You don't have faith in yourself? भरोसा नहीं है? बोले मैडम जिसके ऊपर भरोसा था वो आया नहीं है. So people, they can't figure out what is happening. Yeah, this is the problem. He has created troubles in my life. I did everything. But, from where the missiles are coming, I don't know. Who is troubling me, I don't know. And we have unlimited desires. It is said, desires are very chaste wife, they never go. Ashanam hi manushyanam kaschid ashcharya shrinkhala baddha sarva pradhavanti mukta tishtati panguvat. The chain of desires is such a wonderful chain. A person who is bound by the chain of desires, he runs everywhere. Generally, a person who is bound by the chains, he should sit at one place, right? But the person who is bound by the chain of desires, he runs everywhere to fulfill his desires. And the person who is free, he sits at one place. Mukta tishtati panguvat. Just like a lame person is sitting. And people think this world is for enjoyment, One time Srila Prabhupada, he was giving a class and he said, Krishna has made this world for enjoyment. And everybody said, Pahli baar hamare level ka kuch bol rahe hain. And then Prabhupada said, not yours, for his enjoyment, So that's how people think Krishna has made this world to enjoy. But if you just analyze this body, Jai Shri Radha Gopinath Bhagavan ki Jai, If we just analyze our own body, how many parts of our body can give us enjoyment? Only our 5 senses, right? Can anybody tell? किसी को ऐसा लगता है कभी, today my kidney is giving me so much of enjoyment, We never feel like that. Only 5 senses. How many parts of our body can give us pain? Every millimeter of our body can give us pain. So to expect that this body will give us happiness, it is not a good idea, Our scriptures describe that the pleasures of this world is described as chapala sukha. Chappal sukh nahi, Chappal. Chappal padta hai. Chappal means very flickering. It doesn't stay. It doesn't last long. You think there is enjoyment. वहाँ जाएंगे तो I'll be happy. स्कूल में थे तो कैसा लगता था? Just college में जाएं बस, life will be fun. आजकल लोगों को टी शर्ट पहन के घूमते हैं, अपना टाइम आएगा, 18 साल के थे तब भी लगता था अपना टाइम आएगा. 30 साल के हुए तभी भी लगता है, बोलने तो दे यार पहले. 30 साल के हुए तभी भी लगता था अपना टाइम आएगा. 50 साल के हुए, बच्चे बड़े हो रहे हैं, अपना टाइम तो आ ही नहीं रहा है. 60 साल के हुए, एक दिन छाती में दर्द हुआ. एक दिन छाती में दर्द हुआ, हॉस्पिटल गए तो डॉक्टर ने बोला इनके रिश्तेदारों को बुला ले, इनका टाइम. That's how our life is, We always think ये करूँगा तो I'll be happy, बस एक बार डिग्री मिल जाए, life will be fun. डिग्री के बाद नौकरी मिल जाए, life will be fun. नौकरी के बाद life will be fun, So people think, I want to enjoy as much as I can, and they treat material body, this body like a wet cloth, nichodo, In the beginning, lots of water comes out. And the more you start rinsing it, less and less water starts coming. And in the end, one drop comes. Still people are thinking, और निचोड़ते हैं, कुछ तो निकलेगा, Entire world is advertising, कुछ तो मजा आएगा, That is how the illusory world is. Kutra shisha shruti sukha mrigatrishni rupa kvedam kalevaramashesha rujam viroha nirvidyate natyujano yadapiti vidwan kamanalam madhulavai shamayandurapai. Prahlad Maharaj is offering this prayer to Narsimdev. He says, Oh my Lord, in this world, where is auspiciousness? when you are planning to go for a holiday retreat, at which stage of the travel you get maximum excitement? Before going, after going, or after returning? Before going, right? When we are planning, ये करेंगे, वहाँ जाएंगे, ये खाएंगे, वो देखेंगे. It is all, Prahlad Maharaj says, Shruti Sukha, सुनने में अच्छा लगता है, you know. Tomorrow morning, those who are staying back, tomorrow morning we have arranged a very nice feast including gulab jamun, puri. सुन के कैसा लग रहा है, you know? अच्छा लग रहा है नहीं? सुनने से अच्छा लगता है. होगा नहीं होगा कुछ गारंटी नहीं है, you know. Still, Shruti Sukha. Kutra Shisha Shruti Sukha Mriga Trishni Rupa. It is all like mirage in the desert. One always feels, wahan jayenge to there is water. But actually there is all desert. You know, in this world, in the desert you find an oasis. This association, the place where the Lord is there, where people, they come together and chant the names of the Lord, that place is only oasis. Apart from that, everything is desert, you know. So that is the understanding scriptures give. Prahlad Maharaj is telling, you know. So therefore, we should not blame surroundings. When we are teenagers, you know, in teenager, we have lots of time, lots of energy, no money. When we are working, lots of energy, lots of money, no time. In the old age, lots of time, lots of money, no energy. So that's how our life is. So we should understand, don't blame the situations. We have to learn to tolerate it. Just blaming the situations will not solve the problem. Dhruva, he didn't just blame and sat down crying. He acted on it. And tolerance means you know how to act on a certain situation. That is the first instruction Krishna gives to Arjun. We will recite a verse. I will recite, you follow. Matra sparshaastu kaunteya Shitoshna sukha dukkhadaah Agama payino nitya Tam stitikshasva bharata. O son of Bharata, please learn to tolerate the dualities of the world. Heat, cold, happiness, distress, honor, insult. Just learn to tolerate. If somebody praises us, कितना अच्छा लगता है नहीं? बोलो और थोड़ा बोलो, you know. Even after coming to spiritual life, we learn devotee language, and we says नहीं नहीं प्रभु जी, I am fallen, you know. Inside mind says अच्छा लग रहा है, बोलना और थोड़ा बोलो, you know. Shunite पाए सुखे अपूर्वामृत नदी बहे तुम्हार मुखे, you know. The river of nectar is flowing from your mouth, please speak. But a devotee learns to tolerate either happiness or distress. You know, problems, they are like leech. In Ayurveda treatment, you know, they put leech. Any of you have, you know, put leech on your body any times in Ayurvedic treatment? You know, the leech, it sucks all the impure blood. But if you try to just pull away the leech from the skin, you know what will happen? It will tear apart your skin. So what we have to do? Just leave that leech. In some time, automatically the leech will leave you. You know, problems are like leeches. Please don't overreact on a problem. Learn to respond in a nice way. And the next level we should learn is be grateful. Grateful for what we have received in life. And Srila Prabhupada, he would always tell, when problem comes in life, we should know Krishna has minimized it. Zyada pitai hone wali thi, kam ho rahi hai, you know. And now the cricket season is going on, right? Some cricket match is going on. Chal raha hai ki khatam ho gaya, you know. Oh my God, all of you have left cricket and sitting here. It is a big sacrifice, you know. You know, in our life, the forces of illusion are always throwing balls. You know, sometimes spin, sometimes googly, sometimes क्या होता है मुझे भी मालूम नहीं है, you know. And every time we are out, and most of the times we are out, Pakka, clean, bold. But the good thing is, Maya is like bowling the ball, and our empire is Krishna. And Krishna, he is standing in form of Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu. And what is the pose they are standing? Maya bolti out ho gaya, Mahaprabhu bolte are sixer hua hai, So that is how Lord Gauranga is. He is so merciful. Even if we are falling at every step, Mahaprabhu says, don't worry. I am there behind you. Just get up and walk again. In the boxing match, when one is considered defeated? When one refuses to get up. How many times you fall down doesn't matter. Get up and walk again. That is a spiritualist. One never gives up. And that is what Mahaprabhu is always telling. Don't worry, I am there with you. E gupta bhava sindhu brahma napa eka bindu hena dhana vilaila samsare. Aiche dayalu avatar aiche data nahi ara guna keha nare varni bare. Kaviraj Goswami, who has written Chaitanya Charitamrita, the life of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he says, the amount of mercy Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is distributing to everyone, it is unimaginable. Nobody can understand. It is like a person who has failed in every exam 4 times. Story sunaya na? But still Mahaprabhu says, koi baat nahi beta. You just come and write your name, I will pass. And sometimes we are so stubborn, we say, naam bhi nahi likhunga. Nityanand Prabhu, he comes and says, koi baat nahi, naam bol, main likhta hu, So that is how our movement is. Such a fortunate movement, So we have to be grateful for whatever we go through. And in today's day and age, temptations are so very common. In the students, previously when I would go to hostels, people would come to hostel and then they would get spoiled. आजकल बिगड़े हुए ही आते हैं, घर में अगरबत्ती ऐसी जलाता है, इधर दूसरी वाली अगरबत्ती जलती है, how to resist the temptations. We have to understand that we have to learn to pray to the Lord to give us the strength to tolerate the temptations. There's a beautiful prayer we can make. Oh Lord, please give me the strength to change the things which I can, tolerate the things which I can't, and the wisdom to understand the difference between the two. Understood? Strength to change the things which I can. Many times we want to change things which we cannot change. And we try to change things thinking that ye ho jayega. And we don't work on those things which we can change. So therefore, when we come to spiritual life, we should learn, don't surrender to the temptations, fight back. So now when Dhruva, he hears that his brother is killed, his mother died, stepmother, he attacks this army of yakshas alone. He takes his chariot driver is there and he is there. He attacks the city of the yakshas called Alkapuri. The city of Alkapuri is in the northern direction in the Himalaya range. And then, as soon as he reaches there, he sees all the followers of Kuvera. Kuvera is the treasurer. All his followers, they are called as yakshas. So he goes and he blows his conch shell very loudly. And as soon as the residents, all these yakshas, they hear the conch shell, they become frightened. And then they understand somebody has attacked us. Every day it is a war. And yakshas, they are like the illusory spells. And many times we think, oh, this is not a big problem. I can handle this. I am just testing myself. All the people of the world are so fallen. Kitne patit hain. Let me see how fallen they are. How people do wrong things. One time Srila Prabhupada, he was in one temple and the devotees, they went and they asked Prabhupada, Prabhupada, we are going to distribute books in nightclub. Please give your blessings. So Prabhupada said, okay, I give you my blessings, but make sure you come back also. नहीं तो पता चला आप भी उधर, next day morning आपको उठा के लाना पड़ा. One devotee went to Prabhupada and said, Prabhupada, it seems I have conquered lust. Since last 10 days, I had no bad thoughts. Prabhupada said, there is problem, go to a doctor, Don't expect miracles overnight. आज भर्ती और कल चक्रवर्ती ऐसा नहीं होता है, It takes time, So a devotee should be very, very careful. They should not think, देख के आता हूँ कितनी पतित हो गई है दुनिया. What all wrong things people are seeing nowadays. Actually, I am beyond all this. देख के आते हैं, मेरे को तो कुछ फर्क पड़ेगा ही नहीं. No. Don't, test yourself. Don't be tempted thinking that nothing will happen to me, It is like a cobra around the apple. Think, arey apple hai, so nice to eat, but we forget to see the cobra which is around. In any war, which is more dangerous? An enemy who threatens to destroy us or an enemy who allures us with pleasure? Question samjha na? One who threatens us or one who gives us pleasure? Just enjoy this. One who gives us, allures us with pleasure, He is a bigger enemy. Because we put down our guards, thinking that he is my friend. So nice. One time Srila Prabhupada, he was on a beach with all his disciples, and one devotee said, Srila Prabhupada, the ocean looks so beautiful. Prabhupada said, yes, material world is like this. From far it looks beautiful. You go close, it will suck you inside. Any of you have been to Jagannath Puri? Have you taken bath in the ocean of Jagannath Puri? It is like that. It will suck you inside. So that's how we have to understand all the temptations of the world. They look like kuch problem nahi hai. Maza aega. In one mela, in one place, there was a board written. It was a food court. One place it was written, Gajar halwa in 1 rupees. यार गाजर हलवा मिल रहा है 1 रुपए में, तो लाइन लग गया. फ्री में जो भी मिलता है, सस्ते में मिलता है, लाइन लग जाता है ना. So one person went inside and he said, किधर है गाजर हलवा? There was a carrot dangling from the ceiling. गाजर हलवा, मराठी में हलवा मतलब हिलाओ, So we think गाजर हलवा मिलेगा, अंदर कुछ और ही मिल रहा है, So that's how the temptations of the world are. So don't think kuch problem nahi hai. You know how a bumblebee gets trapped in a lotus flower? Bumblebee has the capacity to even pierce a wood. But bumblebee is attracted by a nice fragrance of the lotus. In the evening time sits on the lotus and the lotus closes. And the bumblebee knows, I have to get out. But still, the temptation is so powerful, doesn't leave. And guess what happens? The bumblebee dies there. So our temptations, they may look very attractive, very alluring. Maza aega. But no, there is a sharp sword behind that. So we have to be really careful, because it is like riding a boat in an ocean, which is full of winds. We'll recite this beautiful verse. Indriyanam hi charatam yanmano nuvidhiyate tadasya harati pragyam vayurnavam mivambhasi. So in this verse, Krishna says, he's telling Arjun, you should learn how to control your senses. If you are not controlled in your senses, it is like a boat in an ocean full of winds. It will sway away the boat from the right direction. As you sit with your bead bag, thinking, I will chant now. And one phone call comes and says, नया movie निकला है, IPL मैच शुरू हो गया है, तेरे लिए मैं टिकट लेके आ रहा हूँ, you know. And mind says, चैंटिंग तो होता रहेगा, इतना चैंटिंग कि आज तक कुछ हुआ, ये ना बोल रहा है, टेम्पल में तो मत बोलो, you know. So mind gives 100 reasons why we should not chant now, you know. But be careful. It is like a wind which takes away the mind. Therefore, Krishna says, please don't underestimate your senses, thinking that I will control my senses. I will have no problems. Yatato hiyapi kaunteya purushasya vipaschitaha indriyani pramathini haranti prasabham manaha. Arjun, don't think you are very strong. Even if a person of discrimination, vipaschita means a person of discrimination who knows things. Idhar jaunga to phas jaunga. He knows, but still, don't overestimate yourself. If you are overestimating yourself, it is a great danger. A spiritualist, you know how he should be? He should be like a tortoise. You know how tortoise is? Whenever it faces danger, brings all the senses, all the legs and the head inside. Why only 5 things? You know, Krishna is giving example of tortoise. You know why? 5 things are coming out of the body. Our 5 senses explore the world. When you are in temple, please learn to explore the beauty of the Lord. And when you are in the outside world, please don't learn to explore. Everything attractive comes from Krishna, but not everything attractive takes you to Krishna. You know. We should not think, ये भी भगवान ने ही बनाया है. I was just appreciating the creation of the Lord. What is the problem? You know. Everything attractive doesn't take you to Krishna. You know. As a practicing spiritualist, we should be very, very careful where we are focusing. And the entire world is full of temptations and all the advertisements. You know, nowadays people make so many funny ads. You know, I had this very funny ad about the illusory nature of the world.
बेटे, कल तुम्हें लड़के वाले देखने आ रहे हैं. पर माँ, हाँ? मेरी त्वचा.
दीदी, इंस्टेंट पैनल चाहिए? तो ये लो.
साधारण क्रीम असर दिखाए 5 दिनों में, पर बजाज CFL से पाइए बस 1 सेकंड में उजला गोरा. बजाज CFL सब कुछ रोशन कर दे.
देखो ऐसा दिखावा है, you know, that's how the world is. And people see those ads and they buy the products. Thinking that ऐसा नहीं होगा, but कुछ तो होगा, you know. In spiritual life, we should learn to get the real eyes. Shastra chakshu उसको बोलते हैं, you know. We should learn to see the world through the spectacles of the scriptures. I read a beautiful line in one place. Real eyes, real lies. You know, real eyes. If you have the real vision to see the world, then you will realize दुनिया में कितना झूठ बोला जा रहा है. The real lies of the world will be seen when we see the world through the scriptures, through Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada wrote Bhagavad Gita as it is. That does not mean, प्रभु जी मैंने as it is रखा है. मैं पूरा फॉलो कर रहा हूँ बुक को, you know. रोज आरती करता हूँ मैं, you know. People say मंदिर में लाल कपड़े में लपेट के रखा है हमने भगवद गीता. When we read Bhagavad Gita, then we will get the real vision. Otherwise, our mind, our senses, they are like Ravana with 10 heads coming to kidnap our determination. You know, so we have to be really careful. You want to know how mind is powerful? Very powerful the mind is. Next slide is a very interesting slide. I want one of you to read that slide. You have another mic? Who will volunteer to read the slide? Okay. Inko de dijiye. Just you have to read, you know, another very interesting slide is there. Mic is there? ओके, कौन पढ़ना चाहेगा? ओके, यहाँ पे है. Just read this slide.
Phenomenal power of the human mind. According to a research at Cambridge University, it doesn't matter in what order the letters in a word are. The only important thing is that the first and last letter be at the right place. The rest can be a total mess and you can still read it without problem. This is because the human mind does not read every letter by itself, but the word as a whole.
That is the power of the mind, So spirituality. So as a student or a working professional, we should learn how to control the mind. Otherwise, if the mind is not controlled, Krishna says, Bandhuratmatmanastasya naivatmanajitah anatmanastu shatrutve vartetatmaiva shatruvat. Uncontrolled mind is the worst enemy. So as a student, when we start practicing spiritual life, the chanting of the names of the Lord, it is bringing our mind in our control. Otherwise, it is not so easy, Which is more easier? Mind control or sense control? How many of you think mind control is easy? How many of you are thinking sense control se shuru to kar sakte hain, Okay, thank you. So, of course, if some of you didn't understand what is mind control, what is sense control, if you are passing by the road, you see a billboard with some obscene thing, and it is easier to move our head or move our mind from that. So that's why Krishna says, Arjun, please begin with controlling your senses. Tasmat tvam indriyanyadav niyamya bharatarshabha papmanam prajahiyenam jnana vijnana nashanam. O Arjun, tasmat, therefore, indriyani adav. Adav means in the beginning. Please don't spoil yourself by putting all the wrong things in the mind. With all the smartphones and 5G data available, we have access to all the garbage of the world. So as a practicing spiritualist, or if you want to become a successful person in life, the first thing is mind control. And if we are putting garbage in the mind, how our mind will be controlled? So therefore it is very important. So as Yakshas, they heard this conch shell, they attacked Dhruva. Because, that's what will happen. When you say no to the senses, ye nahi chahiye, you know what will happen? Mind will start screaming loudly, I want it now. Last time I said, and you delivered all the products very easily. Abhi kyun nahi de rahe ho? Learn to say no. When we learn to say no, then we become strong. When we just give in to our senses, we become weaker. Because we know what is right, what is wrong. So Dhruva, what he did, he was a great charioteer, great bowman. He started shooting 3 arrows at a time. And these 3 arrows, you know what it indicates in our life as a practicing spiritualist? We all should have these 3 weapons in our quiver. These 3 arrows, the chanting of the names of the Lord, association of the spiritual people, and reading good books, reading scriptures, reading Bhagavad Gita. So these are the arrows which we should have in our quiver. Otherwise, if we are going in a war field and think, Dhanush laya nahi, In the battle, if somebody says, Akraman, or bola, yaar, banduk to lana bhul gaya, So it will not help us, So chanting is very important. The most powerful weapon of this age is chanting the names of the Lord. And many times when we take to the chanting, it is like the greatest burden. I'll tell you, what happens when we start chanting. You tell me how many of you have this experience? जो लोग माला कर रहे हैं, you are about to complete your rounds. You think, यार बड़ा वाला आ नहीं रहा है रे. कब से chanting कर रहा हूँ, पास तो नहीं हो गया. That is the greatest. पता नहीं आके चला तो नहीं गया बात करते करते. If you want to have a sword, it should be sharp. If the sword is blunt, it will not help you. This weapon of the holy name is very powerful, but we should know how to use it properly. If we are not using it properly, then people say, कुछ फर्क ही नहीं पड़ रहा है. I am trying since last 6 months, nothing is happening. Because एक हाथ में bead bag है और एक हाथ में मोबाइल है. हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा. तो कैसे होगा फिर? So that's what we have to understand. Holy name is very powerful. And then associating with devotees. All of us have come to Krishna consciousness or spiritual life or any good thing we learn when we come close to some people who are doing it. एक ऐड आता था पहले, खूब जमेगा रंग जब मिल बैठेंगे. कितने? 3. बोलेंगे अभी ये कहाँ से आ गया बीच में. Why in that ad it is said सब मिल बैठेंगे साथ में. You know what happens when people sit together and drink? बोले हमको क्या मालूम. Guess तो करो. Why people say साथ में पिएंगे तो मजा है. What happens when people drink together? 2 things increase. Quantity increases and quality also increases. जो 1 पैक पिया है वो 4 पी जाता है. And people they talk about all the other things happening in the life and वो brand अच्छा था last time पिया था तो. One time I was giving this example and after the class एक लड़का है बोला सर आपको कैसे मालूम इतना सारा. When we come together in association with people who are spiritual minded, our capacity to practice spiritual life increases. And we learn to appreciate spiritual values. We learn to appreciate moral values in our life to a greater extent. So that is what we have to learn. And scriptures, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Srila Prabhupada, he told, if you distribute my books, you'll be happy. And if you read them, you'll stay. If you want to stay very happy always, please learn to read scriptures because they are very, very powerful source of knowledge. They are not an ordinary source of knowledge which we see in this world. And this chanting is the most powerful thing. There are various levels of power. All the missiles, they run on chemical power. Chemicals are coming together and creating explosion and creating heat and energy. More powerful than that is nuclear weapons. This is the most powerful weapon available on the earth. This is called a Tsar bomb. This is 37 times more powerful than the bomb which exploded in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. When it explodes, it creates a fireball of 3.5 kilometers. Such a powerful weapon. But the more powerful than nuclear power is mystical power, which is not accessible nowadays to many. But the scriptures describe all the nuclear, all the mystical powers. People can destroy planets. People can do anything. You can control the minds of the others. You can read the minds of the others. And if you want this, Haribol bol rahe hain kuch to, So, but the most powerful weapon which we have, even higher than the mystical power, is the spiritual power. And that comes when we chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. That is the spiritual power. So when this Dhruva, he started, attacking all these. So this chanting is very important, And people, when they chant in so many funny ways. Sometimes, one person was telling, Prabhuji, ek mandir mein main gaya subah and people were chanting. And he was a new person. He got shocked. Look, kya kar rahe hain? You know, with all the different phases, they keep chanting, you know, as if constipation ho gaya hai, you know. Hare Krishna, and kuch log to aisa, you know, Hare Krishna, kaan mein dalo, ghusao kaan mein, you know. The most important way we have to chant is try to chant in a way which we can hear attentively. 5 things are required in chanting. The posture, the way we sit while we are chanting. Chanting can be done anyways, but iska matlab nahi hai so ke chanting karenge, Prabhuji. One time, you know what happened? One devotee was giving a class and he was telling, you know what happens when you chant? When you sit and chant, Krishna stands and listens. When you dance, when you stand and chant, Krishna starts dancing in happiness. And when you dance in kirtan, Krishna goes into ecstasy. So the purpose was you should chant attentively. So pura class ho gaya, and after that, you know, it is in the base, in one of the bases going on. So after the whole class, one devotee was sleeping and chanting. Another devotee comes and says, अरे कुछ तो शर्म कर, अभी क्लास सुना है प्रभु जी का, you know. At least बैठ के तो कर chanting. He said, Prabhu ji, you are not understanding my bhav. Prabhu ji ने क्या बोला? You know. When you sit and chant, Krishna stands and listens. You know. If I sleep and chant, Krishna will sit, na? You know. Why give trouble to Krishna? You know? So chanting posture is very important, you know, and the pace at we are chanting. Rajdhani nahi chalana hai, you know. When some people they chant, it seems like gungunaa rahe hain bhavare, you know. कौन सा मंत्र बोल रहा है उसको ही मालूम है. And some people chant so slow. Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, I'm hearing each and every word, you know. एक माला करने में 20 मिनट में एक माला हो जाता है, you know. Proper pace, posture, pace, pronunciation. Every word should be clearly pronounced, audibly, you know. One time, one devotee was chanting and other devotee was pacing up and down. So they said, "Kyun chal ke baith chanting? Sit and chant, na?" He said, "No, I am feeling sleepy. That's why I am moving." So after the chanting was over, you know, this devotee comes and tells this Prabhu, "Prabhuji, you are not chanting properly. You are missing some of the words." And he said, "Kya baat kar raha hai? I was chanting every word properly." He said, "Prabhuji, when I was moving, I was recording your chanting." You know, sunaya usko tape. He said, "Ye mera hai hi nahi." Every word should be pronounced properly. Posture, pace, pronunciation, you know. And when you sit in the circle, any of you sit in the circle and chant? You know, those who are chanting sometimes in the morning. And if one person sleeps, you know, and usko uthao na, you know, kaise dekhta hai wo? Kya hai? Prabhuji, you were sleeping. I was in samadhi. Posture, pace, pronunciation, and the place where we are chanting. You know, if you are standing in the middle of the chauraha and chanting, kaise hoga अच्छे से chanting, you know? Find a suitable, quiet place with the devotees. And the 5th is most important. Prayerful mood. Pray to the Lord. Pray to the names of the Lord. Holy name is not different than Krishna. So now when Dhruva started shooting 3 arrows at a time, all the yakshas, you know how many yakshas they came? 1,30,000 yakshas they attacked. And bichara, ek. 1 against 1,30,000. And everybody started shooting 6 arrows at a time. 7,80,000 arrows are coming at Dhruva simultaneously. It is described that Dhruva, it seemed like a mountain which is covered with rain, not to be seen. If there is a very strong downpour of rains, nothing is seen, right? But what happens when the rain falls on the mountain? Anything happens to the mountain? Only one thing happens. The mountains get cleansed off. When we are faced with temptations, all the illusory energy is working, our mind, our senses, our bad habits, they are troubling us. We should understand that is the time to give up all our complacency. Dhruva, when he saw all these arrows coming, he gave up all his complacency, all the lethargy, all the laziness, and started shooting arrows with all the vigor. So the third lesson we should learn is, in a battle against our temptations, there is no place for complacency and laziness. We have around 11 lessons. Let's see. Complacency is very dangerous. In our practice of spiritual life and to achieve anything in our life, complacency is the biggest enemy. We have to be eager. We have to become very, very strong. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, all of you follow, I have not put this on the slide. Bhoga Ishwarya prasaktanam taya apaharita chetasam vyavasayatmika buddhi samadhau na vidhiyate. Krishna is telling, oh Arjun, if you are attached to sense gratification and the opulence of the world, bhoga and aishwarya, you know what will happen? If you want to just enjoy and become lazy in life, you will not be able to achieve anything. Vyavasayatmika buddhi means steady intelligence will not arise in your mind and intelligence, Arjun. All of us want to be determined, right? If I have decided to do something, I'll do it. So there is no place for lethargy. So now, interesting thing happened. It may seem that Dhruva was a lone warrior. Nobody is there to help him. But it was not the case. Many times we think, nobody is helping me around. Nobody is there for me. Bhagwan dekh rahe hain kya? Main itna mehnat kar raha hoon. We are not alone in our battle. We should understand. There are many sages, they were in the sky looking at this battle. They were watching all this battle. And as soon as they saw, they exclaimed, they started shouting. It seems that the grandson of Manu, Dhruva, is lost. It is like the sun setting in the ocean. But you know what happens when the sun sets in the ocean? Anything happens to the sun? Nothing happens to the sun. It may seem that we are losing the battle, but it is not the case. Please understand, we are not alone in our battles against the temptations. We have our entire force behind us. That is called as parampara. The entire line of teachers are standing behind us. Just imagine if you see your very powerful friend standing beside you. It gives such a great assurance, right? I can barge into anyone. I will win over this war. Just imagine who are standing behind us. Srila Prabhupada is there. Saraswati Thakur is there. Bhaktivinoda Thakur. All these powerful warriors are there. They are supporting us, So we are not alone. That is the next lesson we should understand. And here in this association, we have such a wonderful opportunity to get connected to a bona fide parampara. Otherwise, in this world, there is no dearth of bogus spiritualists. Baba Raja Murad Bangali, 24 ghante mein samadhan. If you are not having the right teacher, you will be distracted. This is next is a very interesting video. You must have seen the Chinese whisper. Suna hai? If the knowledge is not transmitted properly, what happens? See, in this case, what is happening here? अभी तो शुरू हुआ है.
बोलो ना. 얘는 까고 갈래서 이렇게 가는 거나. 달라 얘는 달라. 우다 가는 달라 우다 가는. Okay, so so we should understand in our war against temptations, we are not alone. How many of you have felt this anytime? थक गया यार, बस हो गया, इतना पिटाई हो गया मेरा, I am tired, Many times you feel like that. बस छोड़ दो, भी बस हो गया, Enough is enough. And many times you feel जल्दी तो नहीं आ गया. Somebody dragged me in this process. All my friends are enjoying life. और मुझे यहाँ पे लेक्चर सुनने के लिए बिठा दिया, So we have to understand, nothing happens to the sun. So therefore, we should not be dejected by our defeats. When we are not able to win over our temptations, we should not be dejected. Because Krishna himself tells, my devotee never loses a war. Badhyamanopi madbhakto Vishayaira jitendriyaha Prayah pragalbhaya bhaktya Vishayairna bhibhuyate. Devotee may lose many battles, but he will win the war for sure. So that is the assurance Krishna is giving. Badhyamano, my devotee is bound by conditionings. Bichara nahi jeet pa raha hai. Any temptation comes and falls down. But the devotee never gives up. That defines a person who is practicing spiritual life. Never give up. कुछ भी हो, कितने बार भी गिरें, we will get up and again walk. That is a devotee. These two pics, they give such a wonderful assurance to all of us. It is a path of devotion where we have to just hang on. क्या करना है? बस लटके रहना है. पक जाएंगे, पक जाएंगे, not in the other sense, A mango gets ripened as it is there on the branch. I'll just skip some of the things because the time is falling short. So in our stages of our battle, many times we think, हार गया. We don't even struggle and, just accept the defeat. And then after some time we struggle and then we get defeated. But after some time we struggle and we become successful. And then after practicing for a long time, we have effortless success. So Dhruva, now his chariot emerges out of the ocean of the arrows. Just like a sun rises and dissipates the entire fog, Dhruva, he started shooting all the powerful arrows and then started destroying. And it is described that Dhruva's arrows, they were like the thunderbolt falling on the mountain. Previously, when the Yakshas were shooting arrows, what was described? Rains falling on the mountain. But now, when Dhruva is shooting arrows, thunderbolt falling on the mountain. What happens when thunderbolt falls? The mountain gets destroyed, So therefore, we should understand our weapons are very powerful. They are like thunderbolt. We should not think इससे क्या होगा. लगता है छोड़ देते हैं. No, this is the most powerful practice which we are doing. It is described in the scriptures, the lotus feet of the Lord, they are like the thunderbolt. They can destroy our lethargy. They can destroy our conditionings, our bad habits. And when we take shelter of the eyebrows of the Lord, many of us many times are troubled by lust, all the bad thoughts. Scriptures describe, please focus on the eyebrows of the Lord. They are like the bow. Now, if you don't want to be shot by the arrows of the Cupid has a calm ban. The bow, which is made up of sugar cane, and the arrows made up of flowers. आगे flower रहता है, पीछे it is a pointed end, and it is very painful, So therefore, we have to learn to take shelter of these powerful weapons. And then, as soon as Dhruva started shooting arrows, all the warriors, they started getting killed, limbs were cut, heads were cut, and the entire battlefield became a field full of the limbs and the heads and the broken pieces of the bodies of the Yakshas. At that time, all the Yakshas, they immediately disappeared. But Dhruva, he didn't think, sab log bhag gaye. You know what he thought? No one knows the plans of the Yakshas. In our battle with our conditionings, we should never be overconfident. हो जाएगा. चल थोड़ा घुस के आते हैं अंदर, Try करके आते हैं, Don't test yourself. Overconfidence will destroy us. One time, there was a man. He wanted to learn public speaking. And in his village, he was staying in a village, so a person came and he was teaching how to speak in a public. So he said, you should begin your talk with something very, very powerful. For example, you can say, in the beginning, the best years of my life was spent in the arms of a woman who was not my wife. The public mein kya bol raha hai? And then you can say, and she was my mother. Arey kya tha? So, nahi, abhi khatam nahi hua, ruko. So then he thought, yaad kar lete hain ye. So yaad kar liya usne. And then after some weeks, his chance came to speak. First time he is on the stage. Stage fear. He thought, wo wala bolta hu. The best years of my life was spent in the arms of a woman who was not my wife. And in anxiety and nervousness, he forgot the next line. सोच रहा है अंदर पसीना. And then he says, and I don't know who she was. तो ऐसा ओवर कॉन्फिडेंस में मत जाइए, you know. I am practicing since long. I can handle all these things. I can be with my old friends who are doing all wrong things. Nothing will happen to me. No. Please don't be overconfident. You know what happened? Yakshas, they started creating illusions. And immediately, from the sky, there was thunder. Jai Shri Radha Gopinath Bhagavan ki Jai, Shri Gaur Nitai ki Jai, Shri Gopal Ji Bhagavan ki Jai. So there were dense clouds in the sky. Immediately the sky was full of clouds. It started raining pus, blood, stool, mucus, urine. Mountains are falling from the sky. All the ferocious animals, they are appearing in the sky. Snakes are emitting fire from their mouth. It seems the entire ocean is coming on him. These are all illusions created. We should understand, when we are surrounded by, so many problems and we think, ho jayega yaar. No. No one is immune to the problems and negativities of the world. In all our situations, you know what we need? All of you have, I hope nobody has used lighter for the wrong purpose. Lighter sabne use dekha rahega na. This spark, all of us have this spark to succeed in life, to do good to others, to help others, to practice spiritual life, to become a good devotee. ये भी बुझ गया. इतना हवा रहा है, ये भी बुझ गया. Yeah. But what happens? Many times, it is like so many problems are coming in our life many times. Sometimes, some of my friends deceived me. Or exam में fail हो गया. My parents, they don't understand me in my life. And whenever I want to do something good, ulta hi ho jata hai. And students, teenagers, when their spark goes off, somebody left me, छोड़ के चली गई, कोई नहीं समझ रहा है मुझे. So many problems are happening in life. And then what happens? Some people, they come and they push us down this water. तू अंदर ही रहे. And then what happens? After being in this water for some time, क्या होता है? क्या होगा? Spark होगा? नहीं होगा. We lose that spark in life. I don't want to do anything now. बस हो गया. I tried enough. किसी के लिए भी ताली बजा रहे. When we can't do anything in life, नहीं हो रहा है मेरे से. At that time, what we need? We need another spark to again light up, So that is what we need. Because, many times नहीं होता है. बार बार करने से भी नहीं होगा. एक बार मंदिर जाके आ गए हो गया. नहीं होता है. Again बुझ गया, Every time we need a spark to again light up, So that is very important. Otherwise, नहीं जलेगा अपने आप. देखो, बुझ जाता है. थोड़ा जला फिर बुझ जाता है. So therefore, practicing spiritual life means when we are surrounded by illusions, by negativity around us, we need somebody to light that spark. Just like Jamwan, he ignited the spark within Hanumanji. He reminded him of his powers. This lighter has all the fuel still. अभी भी पूरा है, उसमें fuel भरा हुआ है. But still, can't light. बाहर नहीं आता है कुछ, Just like Arjun lost his spark. नहीं हो रहा है. That time he needed Krishna. He needed Krishna to light up that spark, And you know how Krishna lights that spark? Tesham evanukampartham aham ajnanajam tamaha nashayamyatma bhavastho Jnanadipena bhasvata. Krishna ignites that spark again by the lamp of knowledge. Nothing will happen miraculously, automatically. अपने आप एक दिन उठा और चमत्कार नहीं होगा वैसा. We have to work for it. We have to learn to get knowledge from the scriptures, from Bhagavad Gita. Stay in association of devotees. Then only the spark will get ignited again. When we come in touch with the Lord, come in touch with the devotees, the spark gets ignited. So all the sages, they were watching. They have not left Dhruva. They all arrived at that point, and then they started telling Dhruva, please don't forget the weapon which you have. What weapon? The weapon of the names of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This is the most powerful weapon we have, my friends. Please don't forget this. This Narayanastra, Srila Prabhupada writes, this is a weapon of the holy name. We should not forget. Auttana pada bhagavam stava saranga dhanava deva shinotyavanataarti haro vipakshan yannamadheyam abhidhaya nishamya chadha loko anjasa tarati dustaramanga mrityum. O son of Uttanapad, please remember the Lord who has bow of sarang in his hand. Why are you fearful? The names of the Lord are so powerful, they can deliver a person from this material world. Ye illusion kya cheez hai? And then he started chanting. So therefore we have to invest in our friends. Please don't make friends online. They'll not come to your help. Make good friends in association of devotees. They'll help you always. I'll skip some of the slides. Okay, this was another video anyways. So in association of devotees, we have to do these 6 things. It begins with coming together and sharing some gifts, then sharing food, prasad. वो तो हम आराम से कर लेंगे, उसमें कोई टेंशन नहीं है. Most important thing is share your heart. Don't go to your other friends and tell, मालूम है क्या, मेरे को chanting में मन नहीं लग रहा है. मैं तो कब से बोल रहा था chanting मत कर, Don't go to your friends and tell your heart. Please reveal your heart to some of your friends in devotee association. Dhruva, he took out his Narayanastra, put on his bow. As soon as he put the arrow on his bow, millions of arrows started shooting from the bow and destroyed all the warriors. So therefore we have to understand, experience the power of the holy name. And the last thing is, please don't fear your conditionings. Depend on the Lord. The Lord is all powerful. He is there to protect us. Ananya shintayanto mam ye jana pariyupasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham. Krishna is telling to Arjun, whoever remembers me regularly, chants my name, I do 2 things for them. I provide what they lack, I preserve what they have. That is the biggest insurance policy Krishna is giving. जिंदगी के साथ भी और जिंदगी के बाद किसके काम आता है? Relatives के काम आता है. This is the only policy which works always. That is the tagline. LIC का tagline के नीचे एक संस्कृत में कुछ लिखा रहता है. Yogakshemam vahamyam. यहाँ से लिया है. That is assurance of Krishna. So therefore, today we discussed this beautiful story and we learned how to handle the temptations in our daily life and become a successful, victorious warrior. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Bas.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
A very loud Haribol! 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 So thank you for your wonderful participation, and it was a wonderful lecture by Prabhuji. And we have time for one or two questions. If you have one or two questions, you can raise your hand. Okay, one hand is here. One more question if someone has. Okay, तो एक प्रश्न है, आप पूछिए.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
So you showed one example of sparkling, like, so while chanting now, if we chant with a devotees association or in temple, so we have that spark of chanting that I will complete 16 round, and purely we will complete the 16 round. But when we get away from that, so how to find that spark to chant at that time?
Yeah. You know, Chaitanya Charan Prabhu says a very wonderful statement. When we are doing the direct activities of Krishna consciousness, that means chanting, hearing Bhagavatam or scriptures or going to the holy places, to the extent Krishna is in the foreground of our consciousness. That means we are present, we are attentive. To the extent we are present and attentive when we are chanting, to that extent, Krishna will be in the background of our consciousness when we are not doing our direct activities. But you know what will happen when we are not attentive while we are chanting? Krishna will not be in the background, he'll be out of the ground, you know. We will not be able to remember. So it all depends on how much attentive and focused we are when we are chanting. That will surely reflect in our chanting when we are doing our chanting alone. So it is directly proportional. To the extent you are focused when we are with devotees, taking advantage, soaking everything, not distracted. When you are alone somewhere, not with devotees, not with those who are practicing spiritual life, you will be strong to that proportion. So that will happen for sure. Krishna is giving assurance. Don't worry, I am with you. Ma Shucha, Krishna says, don't fear, Arjun. I am there. Even when Vibhishan, he comes and surrenders to Ram, all the warriors are saying, isko mat lo, ye to rakshas hai. Aare apne bhai ka nahi hua, hamara kya hoga? You know what Lord Ram tells Arjun? Anyone comes and tells, oh my Lord, I am yours. Sakriteva prapannoyas tavasmiti chayachate abhayam sarvada tasmai dadami etadvratam mama. Even once you sincerely tell, my Lord, I am yours. You come in front of the Lord, come in front of Gopinath and tells, I'm yours, oh my Lord. Now I want to do what you want me to do in my life. And see miracles happening. Many times, we don't tell the Lord with sincere heart. We have all the other thoughts also going on. That's why we are not able to receive the mercy of the Lord. So that will happen for sure. Okay. Yes, thank you. Any other questions? One last question. Yes, you can pass on the mic.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, I have one small question. So many a times in our daily life, working, studying, traveling, so Prabhuji, hamesha chanting complete 100% nahi ho pata hai. So at times we resort to chanting while we are traveling. And one of your important points was place of chanting is very important. So how can we manage this predicament of ours?
Sometimes emergencies are understandable. And if we have to do it regularly, I have a schedule like that. I have to travel every day for my job. At least try to complete maximum rounds, whatever we can, sitting in a place which is free from distractions. Ultimately, we have to cultivate this habit of focusing. That will reflect in all our lives activities. Either we are studying or working or doing anything. If we are focused in our chanting, We'll be focused in our studies also, we'll be focused in our job also, in our relations, we'll be very sensitive. So we should try to mold our life in a way. And if we are thinking, nahi hoga, hai hi nahi time, pray to the Lord. Miracles happen. Don't underestimate the power of prayers. Prayers are very powerful. They can change our way beyond our expectations. Sincere prayers, they have the power to transform our life. If you'll pray, for sure Lord will show the way. 100%. Krishna tells, I show the way. You know, all of you will recite a verse. Teshamevanukampartham aham ajnanajam tamaha nashayamyatma bhavastho jnanadipena bhasvata. Krishna is telling Arjun, if somebody wants to come to me, practices devotion, chants my names, somehow he is not able to do something properly, you know what I do? Dadami buddhi. I give him intelligence. But the problem is we don't pray sufficiently. We don't pray sincerely enough. That's why Krishna says, ठीक है, जब sincerely pray करेगा, if you say only you, my Lord, only you can help me, then Krishna will do wonders in life, for sure. It is a time-tested process, 100% guaranteed. It is not experiment going on. It will work for sure. Okay, so we'll stop here. Thank you very much for your patient listening. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna. So let us thank His Grace Gaur Vilas Prabhu by loudly chanting 3 times. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. So some announcements. The next Prerana festival will be on 27th of July, and the lecture will be given by His Grace Radhesham Prabhu. One more important announcement. How many of you feel that you should learn Bhagavad Gita nicely? Okay, you feel? Okay, but you have to act on also that. So there is a nice course called DYS, Discover Yourself, and it is going to start from 18th of May. Okay, please note down, it is going to start from 18th of May. It is on Saturday, Sunday. So when you go down, there is a registration counter, please register. Also, we are going to have online sessions once in a month also for you. So please get nourished by this Shastra, so that many of the people in this world are distracted because of the low intelligence or emotional weakness. But as soon as we study the Shastras, we become very powerful. So please take advantage of that. Also, we would like to thank the devotees you have served today. The morning sabji cuttings have done by the boys, guided by His Grace Achyutanand Prabhu. Then plate washing is going to be done by the boys, guided by Hari Govind Prabhu. Today's Prerana services are done by the boys, guided by Lila Sukh Prabhu and Mukund Mala Prabhu. So let us thank these volunteers by loudly chanting 3 times. Oh, Hari Bo. And now we will be having nice Kirtan, and Kirtan will be led by His Grace Satyanand Prabhu. Hari Bo. So our request is, in the Kirtan, you please dance in a circle, okay?